My name is Vahid Chitsaz, part of the Elite Mastermind group. Welcome to our show and our live episode. Let's dive into it. Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. How did you get started? What's been your experience?
Oh my gosh, actually I got started many years ago when I began my network marketing career. And, personal development is such a big part of network marketing, right? They want you to grow physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And a mentor once told me, you'll never surpass your personal development financially. So you've got to grow yourself personally. And so at that point, I was introduced to Think and Grow Rich, of course, and Napoleon Hill, and the principles, the success principles that really are just profound. And I mean, they never change. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's 100 years ago or 100 years from now, these principles will reign. So it's just very powerful once you start implementing in your life. You really realize that thoughts become things.
I agree with that 100%. You already did all the talk, all the questions I had, you already answered them. So when you started, well, first of all, tell us this. What is it that you do right now?
Currently, I'm part of a network marketing company. I'm just a brand builder and a leader here and globally. It's called Canaway Global. I'm always looking for great leadership worldwide. We're going to be launching Asia in the next year, but the U.S. is on fire. It's the end of the prohibition of cannabis here, and we'll never see this special time financially, I don't think, in history ever again. It's much like the end of the prohibition of alcohol, where massive wealth was created. So we certainly are at a special time. So I'm excited about growing a team here and globally. We actually currently in Canaway are the fastest growing team in the United States, the #1 enrollers in the world.
Awesome,
so that's
awesome. Keep it up. But you know that Instagram is very, very sensitive when we talk about cannabis. They are very, very anti-cannabis. I mean, federal laws is still. I'm not gonna get into it. My wife is an attorney. We have different views on it. We argue about it all the time. So let's not dive into my marital conversation. Let's just keep it clean. No, but I love it that you guys doing. I completely understand. The time is changing. And every industry, regardless if we agree with it or we don't, will go through the transitional and be revolutionized, because the way of distribution has always been changing, and every change bring by it, when it comes around, a big bunch of people that are in it at the beginning are going to make tons of money because the marketplace demands it.
Right.
It's not that the companies, no, the marketplace demands how much we get to take home. So whoever is bringing that service in is going to make a lot of money.
But
I see a lot of fitness
spirit, right? It's a pioneering spirit of whatever industry that you're in. When becoming a pioneer of success is not easy, but it's worth it. And it's a lot of those principles of becoming a pioneer, and by following obviously Napoleon Hill's principles, it just really helps when you're growing your business or your life or your team or whatever.
I agree with that 100%. 100%. So tell us this. So when you initially started reading the book, what were the 2-3 things that you remember that popped out that right away you're like, oh my God, I got to implement? What was the aha moment? What kind of information did you get initially? Because the reason why I asked this is because I'm always curious. Everybody says something different. Even though it's the same book we're all reading, same content, it never changes. Everybody has their own take out of it. So what was your take?
Again, thoughts become things. What we think about, we bring to fruition in our lives. It's almost, our brains are like magnetic, right? And so what we're thinking about and dwelling on, and then especially when you start thinking about it, it's one thing, but then when you really start to connect your heart to that and put a plan in place, like Napoleon talks about in his book, that's when it becomes like supercharged, right? Another thing what I loved about Napoleon Hill is he's not afraid of talking about faith. In an era where we don't want to talk about God or faith or, connect that to anything, I really realize faith is foundational to everything that we do. And I'm respectful of all denominations of faith, but, I love God, and I believe that he has the best interest in mind for each and every one of us. Now, whether or not we choose to believe that, is another story. So, I just really believe the verse in the Bible, it's Ephesians 3:20, and it basically says that God has more in store for us than we can ask, think, or even imagine. Like, so we expect and start studying and anticipating these wonderful things. But the truth is we have even more in store in our lives than we can even wrap our minds around.
The only way I made it this far was because of God. That's it.
Absolutely.
That's the only reason I made it so far, and we're gonna continue doing. I agree with that, and that's something that it was very, very touchy back in the days when Napoleon Hill wrote the book. We didn't have this whole melting pot. I mean, I live in LA, and you rarely get asked, what you believe in or not. Everybody assumes you believe in something, or if you don't, that's still your business. But predominantly, everybody is respectful of everybody's religion. But Napoleon Hill talking about faith was completely on a different thing. I mean, it changed it for me. So whatever culture, whatever language, whatever religion you're part of, that's okay, totally fine. But the way he talks about prayers and having that faith, especially in our today's lives when we go through these turbulence. I mean, the stock market wasn't as bad as it is today. I mean, think about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, we're involved in so many different things that on daily basis, if we don't have our faith together, I think it's going to be very difficult. Almost every entrepreneur that I get to meet, somehow, some way, they have that lone time with themselves where they go pray or they talk to their creator and ask for help. And they're like, listen, I don't know, I'm stuck. Like, I need a miracle right now. So I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs, they just lock themselves up. They need that time with themselves to do prayers and get their faith together, especially when we go through these ups and downs. So
I also believe like in divine downloads. I think that I believe that God is working in us, through us all the time. And those moments alone in prayer, sometimes for me, it happens in the shower. I have my best ideas in the shower, probably because my mouth is shut, right? And I'm just reflecting and thanking God. And in those moments, I've had some of my very best ideas. And I believe they're divine downloads where, you all of a sudden have this thought that you're thinking, oh my gosh, I believe that might work. And maybe you've never thought that way before or leaned in that direction, and suddenly it just seems like it makes perfect sense and you're walking in that direction. So yeah, I
agree with that 100%. Some of my best thoughts, some of my best ideas came out of shower. So I'm totally comfortable talking about it. And you are right. Your mouth is shut. You're not thinking. Water is hitting your face and body and everything else. And I don't know how big your shower is, but my shower is an arm distance, so you can run away. There's no distraction, there's no TV, there's no cell phone. You shouldn't take your cell phone in there. So you got a lot. So you literally are alone with yourself, and your thoughts are doing what they need to be doing. And you collect yourself and you're analyzing it, and whatever you deeply believe in your heart and your thoughts, when they get synced, that's when that I don't know what happens biologically. I can't explain it, but shit does happen where you come up with good ideas. What happens, I don't know. I just know it does happen. So some of my best ideas came out of that.
Absolutely. In the beginning of the Bible, it says the Spirit of God hovered over the water. And that has always just captivated me mentally and emotionally. When I think about the Spirit of God, the world was dark, but the Spirit of God hovered over the water, and then he spoke things into existence. And I literally think that when I'm showering, like the Spirit of God.
And God must be big, because 75% of earth is water.
Boom.
So
and
God is not small.
75% of our bodies is water. So like
that's it. There is something about H2O.
Yeah, absolutely.
God loves H2O for sure. All right, let's talk into it. So what is your recommendation? Why people should read Think and Grow Rich? Why do you think this has helped you so much in your progress so far on the success path?
I really believe that it really gives you a plan. And, I love when he talks about the various strategies, the 15 different things that we're thinking about, the mindsets, enthusiasm. All of those things that we maybe sometimes on the journey, we might pick it up here or there, but to have a book where you can literally sit down and say, this is the plan, and start reading that. And then I believe expectancy is the atmosphere for miracles. So now you're expecting it, and all of a sudden this starts to come into fruition in your lives. It's just really incredible. So I always think you can have a desire in your heart, but without a clear plan, people perish. So you can have that desire, you can have that mindset, you have that plan. Now you are a freaking rocket ship, baby, right? So I think that we can have the desire, we can have the positive attitude, maybe we can have the plan. If you just have those disconnected, you're not as powerful. You might make some headways in life, but it's not going to be when the heart, the mind, and the plan align. Buckle up, baby.
Ooh, ooh, that's a recipe for a big explosion.
Right.
That's a recipe for a big explosion right there.
Move
So
on
you
to
have,
Elon
okay,
Musk.
that's it. That's it. So let me ask you a question. What was the secret for you?
The secret for me, I think, really in my journey has been realizing that God is in control. You know, you can only do so much on your own willpower. I kind of pride myself on being a workaholic. I think many entrepreneurs do. But the truth is, at the end of the day, we can only go so far by ourselves alone. And so when we have the strength of God living in us and we can tap into that power, and then realizing that God doesn't give us that power to say, look at me, look at me. He really gives us a strength to serve others. I mean, that is the entire reason all of us have a strength in an area, whether it's our physical body, our business sense. I mean, whatever it is, your faith life, that's given to you to give away to others, to strengthen others. I mean, I really believe that's our purpose on the planet is to help others. I feel like the world is in a pit right now and we're running around saying, get out of the pit, get out of the pit. We're pulling people out. So I think the biggest thing is just really relying on my faith and knowing that God has an ultimate plan for me and it is great. You know, just standing on that. And I wasn't necessarily raised like that. You know, a lot of time we have these limited beliefs from our upbringing, life experiences, all the crap that happens to us in our lives, and it's stuck there, you know? And so the truth is if you can let all that go and say, you know what, I ultimately believe God didn't do that to me. He did it for me because the best life is yet ahead of me, right? Yeah.
Exactly. I agree with that 100%. Now, let me ask you a question. Where do you see yourself in the next 2 years? What's the plan?
Oh, I see. It's huge. So I'm launching another book. I actually wrote a book that was an Amazon bestseller a couple of years ago, which was totally.
Where's my copy?
What'd you say?
I never got my copy. Where's my copy?
I can send you one. I can send you one. It's called Nice and Fat, and because I've been in the fitness and health realm for a lot of years, FAT is an acronym that stands for far away from the truth. People are chronically in the diets, the wrong mindset. You know, they're literally just off and never land with their health. And really, health is simple. It's just about nourishing ourselves, our bodies. When we learn how to nourish our bodies, you'll have excellent health and your body will be amazing. And so that's what the book is about. But it was an Amazon bestseller a couple of years ago, which was totally by the grace of God, by the way, because I self-published. But I'm launching another book here at the end of January, and it's called My CBD Money Tree, 6 months to 6 figures. So I'm teaching people how to create wealth at this timing in history that's so special for each one of us. So yeah, you guys should look forward. At the end of January, it's going to be coming out. We're hoping for another bestseller, an Amazon bestseller. But I tell you what, you know, I wasn't an author. I got around people that were writing books, and I thought, I can write. If they can write, I can write. You know, there's that power of suggestion, auto-suggestion when you're around people. And Napoleon talks about this. We should start getting around people that are doing things that you think, you know what? I think I can do that. I think I could write books and become a bestseller. And of course, I had a team of people.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
You get inspired by their work ethic. You get inspired by what they're doing and how they're growing as an individual. And you're like, why not me? You know, why can't I have that? Like, I like that. So a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs, especially individuals in the leadership position, they set the example for a lot of other people to follow. And I think that's such a powerful, I mean, as a human being, we have so much power. I mean, just think about that. How many things have to go right for you to be in the right present, right individuals, right center of influences, for you to see that? How much neurons have to work over here? How much belief system we got to have? Your childhood, everything needs to come together where in that instant you're like, why not me? I can write. Let me just put it together. You may not be the best individual that have written in that topic, but the fact that you believe in it and you put it into action, maybe not the first book, but after you write 5, 6 of them, you're like, I got this thing down. Now I can write about the topic, do the research, and self-publish. So these publish houses could go broke, and we could self-publish everything. So,
well, and I'll just tell you one other thing. You know, when I went to do it, and I'm just a big dreamer. I'm a big vision person. I just believe I have audacious goals, right? My goal this year is to help 1 million people. And so the truth is when I went to publish, I actually had a plan. My husband is very sharp. He actually went through Amazon and he said, okay, weight loss. Oh, there's 10 million books in weight loss. And we started going through the categories, and we got to one that was called eating disorders. And I thought, well, people who chronically diet, lose weight, gain weight, it's a form of an eating disorder. And there was only like 200,000 books in that category. And in my mind, I literally said in my mind and out of my mouth, I think I can go to #1 in 200,000. I might not be able to get there with 10 million books, but I think I can be #1 on Amazon in this category with 200,000. And wouldn't you know, within 2 hours of saying that out of my mouth, boom, #1. My book was right next to Joel Osteen and Tim Tebow as the Amazon hottest seller. And I was like, that was totally God. That was a divine attraction. I said it out loud. We put the plan in place. We just weren't random about where we launched the book. We were very specific. And because of that,
I think it was more of the husband, not the divine power. I think it was more of the husband.
Yeah. Let's give him some credit.
Damn, girl, you completely took him out of the equation. Oh my God, I want to interview your husband. He must be such a nice guy. I don't want to interview you. I want to talk to him. He's the one who went on Amazon. I love it how you took credit. Why is it like that, man? All the wives, they just like to take the credit just like that. Poor man worked all night putting all that stuff together. You just took it out. Yeah. Anyway, give a shout out to him. What's his name? What does he do?
His name is Scott Brannan, and yeah, he's a great dad. He actually is a financial planner, and so helps with our home-based business, our network marketing business as well, but really loves helping people, advise them with money and financially and all that great stuff. So greenbacks, baby. Awesome. Greenbacks. Awesome.
Cool. Where are you guys located?
We're up in Bismarck, North Dakota, so it's quite a bit different than sunny California. We actually just got 10 inches of snow, and so it's 0 degrees.
Okay, keep that snow away. Yeah. Not a big fan of the snow over here. People can't do it in California.
Your zip code doesn't predicate your success. It doesn't matter what your zip code is. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't matter. You could be in a remote village over in Africa. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, some people say, well, of course you have opportunities. You're down there in California. You know, but the truth is you create the
as a matter of fact, I think it's much harder over here because you got a lot more competition and you got a lot of sharks over here. So over there you might not have as much. Over here, I mean, just LA County, we got 14 million people and 13.5 million of them are entrepreneurs. So you got a big, huge pool of individuals that are here. But I love it. Competition is the best. I love it. I mean, it makes you want to sharpen your tools much more every single day. So listen, I love talking to you. We'll be definitely in contact. I'm going to have my team reach out to you to get a copy of those books so we could show it off over here.
For sure. And hey, maybe I'm going to show you one more thing. Can you read this? It says thoughts right there. Change your thoughts and you can change your world. I have that actually.
Well, it's opposite for us, so you got to read it one more time.
Yeah, so it says you can change your thoughts and you can change your world. And I just think that if you believe that, hang on, it's going to be a fun ride.
I agree with that 100%. Thank you so much for being with us and spending this time. Definitely say hello to the husband. Looking forward to do more with you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.